Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gypsy Poet Radio here on blogtalkradio.com/gypsypoet. I am the Gypsy Poet, and of course, is with me my wing gal, my laughter, my source of funny winniness, and then the one and only Girl George. Say it with me, people. Girl George, Girl George, Girl George, Girl George. Oh my God! And she brought us the fabulous and absolutely awesome, and may I add, quite funny, Peter Stampfel. Oh my goodness. Is everybody with me?
This is Peter from the holy, how do you say that, Modal Rounders?
Modal, like...
Modal.
Like when the modal. When, well, in the immortal words of Plato, when the mode of the music changes, the walls of the city shake.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's
great. Yes.
You guys came out like
63. Right. And we met in May of 63 and recorded our first album the day before Kennedy got shot.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a mighty day.
And you're from New York, right?
No, I'm from Milwaukee.
Oh, Milwaukee. Did you guys get together in Milwaukee or New York?
New York, yeah. I came to New York when I was 21.
So where at Milwaukee are you from?
The South Side. Well, actually, we lived in about 7 or 8 places, all told, between 1938, when I was born, and 1950, when we ended up in the house in which I stayed until I left Milwaukee.
What did your father do? What kind of work did your father do?
Factory worker, sheet metal specialist, millwright, which meant if it broke, he fixed it, and if they didn't have one, he built it. He worked for Evinrude Motors in their R&D department for about a year, and 48, he worked for Alice Chalmers during the war and until about 48, and then he delivered bread for a couple of years. And
did your mom work too? Did your mom work too?
Well, I'm a lower middle class background guy, and the way it worked back then is that if the woman had a job, it was somehow insulting to the husband. So my dad would not allow her to do anything except for do child care in our house. She took care of a couple of kids, and what ended up happening is that we became permanent friends of the 2 mothers and the children that my mom took care of. But that was the only work my dad would allow.
How many kids were in your family?
I was the oldest. My sister born in 1941, the same year as Dick Cheney and Bob Dylan. Yeah, them and my sister. And my brother's born in 1946. I think it was one of the first year baby boomer year.
So there's 3 of you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And you're a Scorpio. You got the same birthday as me, October 29th.
Oh, really?
Except I'm 1944, so I'm a couple years younger than you.
Yeah, you know, Claire Danes had the same birthday as well.
Really?
Yeah, and Zoot Sims.
So does Winona Ryder.
Oh, Winona Ryder. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Winona Ryder has the same birthday.
Right.
So what was the folk scene like in New York when you got into it? Did you know Bob Dylan?
Yeah, I actually met him in 1961.
Oh, he's my hero. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I saw Bob Dylan, I didn't know who he was. I just saw this kid with his motorcycle hat and his motorcycle boots, carrying a guitar case, and I thought, oh, here's this hood from New Jersey, hoodie kid from New Jersey, and he heard that if you carry a guitar case in New York, in the village, you can get laid. Like, I got this guy's number, right? And then the next time I saw him he was playing at Folk City, only it was behind 2 layers of glass, so I could see him on stage, but I couldn't hear a thing. But I could tell, like, he had a harmonica holder, you know, and which meant that, you know, obviously he could play. Like no one would try and play guitar and harmonica in 1961 without a basic knowledge. And I could tell by his moves that he could really play, you know. But I didn't hear him until a hoot nanny in maybe October or November of 61, and he did I'm Gonna Get You Sally Gal, you know. And the thing is that his phrasing was a mixture of traditional and rock and roll, and I'd consider traditional music and rock and roll these never the twain shall meet, you know entities which they're too far apart. They'll never embrace lovingly, you know. And I mean, this is like forget about quote going electric in '65. He'd already, with his singing, merged rock and roll and traditional. And I realized that the two together could be even powerful than either one separately. And I absolutely, like, you know, it was an epiphany. I was instantly, like, as high as a kite. My mind was like bouncing out the ceiling. It was, and then I went up to him afterwards and did the fanboy gush. I was 22, he was 20. You know, one thing I learned from meeting Dylan was, you know, I was just getting, I'm 22, man, I'm not a kid anymore. And these kids, man, I'm older than those kids, I'm 22. And then to see this 20-year-old kid who was unimaginably beyond me as far as being a musician went, it sort of, ever since then, I've really been respectful of youth. You know? Anyway, he introduced me to Jim Queskin and said Jim Queskin was needing a place to stay, and could me and my girlfriend put him up, and we ended up putting him Queskin for about 2 months. And
so you got to know him well then.
I just for a couple of months, and then
that's a
my
long
life
time.
Yeah, we played together a whole bunch of times, and when I played with him, I suddenly sounded twice as good. You know, like this guy named Luke Faust is another one. When I played with him for the first time, I suddenly sounded twice as good. You can actually get the same effect of playing along with a record. You know, like you can play by yourself, and then you play with a record that you like a lot, and you'll suddenly find yourself something a lot better than when you were playing by yourself.
Yeah, you get inspired by other people that have that little spark of genius there.
Mhm.
And rather the rhythmic solidity, like when you're playing along with some music that is rhythmically solid, it takes the whole burden off. You can sort of like hop in this thing and ride instead of trying to, you know, drive it in your beginnerish way, you know.
What, do you play fiddle too, or just guitar?
Fiddle, banjo. Well, my guitar is rudimentary. My best instruments are fiddle and banjo.
Oh, cool.
And mandolin, of course, because it's just a fiddle, but you pick.
Oh, I love fiddle and mandolins. Boys, those are great. And they work good with rock even, because I use them with rock.
Pardon?
They're beautiful instruments. They're really amazing instruments to play with. So it's like
How did you get on Laugh-In? How did you get on Laugh-In?
Well, we were briefly signed up with Elektra, and we were in Southern California, and the Elektra people had connections with the Laugh-In show, and it was somebody at Elektra Records lining it up. Although they wouldn't let us finish the damn song, which is really annoying. I never really watched. I didn't watch television much in the 60s or 70s, and I don't know whether any other musician or group ever got cut off halfway through the song besides us. If anyone knows the answer to that, I'd be curious. It'd be nice to know that we weren't the only ones that were treated so shabbily.
Did you get on the Smothers Brothers show too?
Nope.
Oh, too bad. You should have been on that one.
I know.
Did you get on any other one? How about Ed Sullivan?
Yes.
No.
Nah, we never got it. The Holy Modal
How
Rounder
did you
story
get an
is
easy writer? Your song is an easy writer. How'd that happen?
Peter Fonda just happened to be listening to the radio, and they just happened to play that song, and the jerk that produced the record thought it would be so cool to have an album with no grooves on it, right? So how can you find anything except for like track 1 and side 1 and side 2? Anyway, it was like track 1 and side 1, and probably the only thing a DJ could play because, you know, you can't find any other songs. He just happened to hear it, and he happened to think it was appropriate, and so he used it.
Well, it worked good in the movie when What's-His-Face was on the motorcycle singing, I want to be a bird.
A crappy version of saying this, I mean, I really like it's a really, it's one of the worst singing jobs I've ever done, actually. Like I just started in the middle, the producer kept saying, do it again. And he wouldn't do it again, but this time, you know, just and at the time I was in this thing, I was learning how to improvise, and I was in this bad stage of do everything but the melody so that you can show how you can improvise. And so my melodic sense was like you know, like at an early stage of development and exploring a kind of dead end alley at the time I recorded it. But, you know, I mean, you know, boo-hoo-hoo, you know.
You know Yvette? You know a girl named Yvette?
I have no idea.
Oh, she plays guitar and fiddles and stuff. That's how I heard about you. And she used to come. I used to be co-host at the open mic at the Story Play on Berkeley, and she used to come in there all the time and do fucking all the sailors in Chinatown. And me and Joan would go up on stage and back her up singing. And then after a couple of years, that all I really knew was the chorus, you know, because that's all we rarely sang. And everyone did each other's songs on the anniversaries of our running the thing. Everyone did each other's song, and she wasn't around, so I couldn't get the right words from her. So I rewrote it a little bit so that the parts that I knew, and then added it to make it a song, and started doing it. And now everyone, that's their favorite song, you know. They make me do it all the time. You know, I love that song. So how did you go about doing that song?
My ex-old lady wrote it.
What's her name?
Antonia.
Antonia. Did she play with you?
No, she, well, actually, for a while she played guitar when she was on speed, and, but, yeah, on one string with the lipstick holder finger slide. That's a long story. Anyway, she wrote Griselda, and she wrote Hoodoo Bash, and, you know, anyway, she thought that Chinatown was a cool subject for songs, and she thought that fucking sailors was a hot thing, and she thought that putting together in a song, you know, fucking sailors in Chinatown was a great song idea. Like putting together, you know, let's try to was two of my favorite things, she thought to herself. And actually, you learned it from Weber, which means that like only half the song was there, and the words are probably a little bit scrambled. So you're actually learning it from a bad copy. But that's, I mean, which is great, which is wonderful. I mean, that's the folk process in action. You know, there it goes. You know, works real good.
Yeah, they keep changing around as different people do it. They got to change it a little bit. But everyone loves that song. Everyone in the place sings along, and they always
want to hear
yell
the real
for that
words?
song.
You want to hear the real words?
Yeah. Are you sending them to me?
Well, I can say them.
Okay, tell me the real words.
Okay. I am a Chinatown whore. I love the men I meet. My panties are lace. My head is spaced. I'm happy to walk the street. And my favorite men are the sailors. I take them on for free because there's something about a seafaring man that brings out the animal in me. When the boats hit the docks, old Chinatown rocks, and my bed sails like the sea. fucking sailors in Chinatown, fucking sailors in Chinatown, down in Chinatown, fucking with the sailors. Ain't it a beautiful world? I can remember a day I loved a sailor boy. His trousers were blue, his eyes were too, his tool was my pride and joy. But he was so young, he was so young and so restless, foolish. He wanted me for himself. I said, no use, no good, because my livelihood would rust if I kept it on the shelf. So I cried for a day when his boat sailed away and went back to my old self. Fucking sailors in Chinatown, etc. That's
actual words, Jar.
I like it. Talk a little bit about the documentary that that girl George has been posting all over the place.
The Bound to Lose?
Bound to Lose, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it happened because Ty North, the son of the Holy Modal Rounder drummer, Roger North, was playing with a group called Leftover Salmon, and several times he said, when we're playing in town, they toured a lot, you should, come and do a couple songs with us. And this went on for a couple of years, and then finally they were in town again, and you should come and do some songs with us Saturday night, and here's where to come, and here's when to be there. And so I did, and there were these two kids, 20-year-old kids, in the audience who came to see Leftover Salmon that never heard of me or the Rounders. And when they saw me play, they got interested and started buying Holy Modal Rounders albums. And I was playing with Steve at the time because he had moved back to the East Coast in 96. This is 1999. And so they came to a show, and these two guys, Tim and Jesse, gave me this envelope and said, please read this, but don't read it now. Take it home and open it up and read it. And I did, and it said, hi, we'd like to make a documentary about the Holy Modal Rounders, basically. And I said, cool, great, excellent. So they were working with this guy, Paul Lovelace, and oh boy, this guy named Gypsy, and I'm blanking out Jesse's name, which is rude. And they proposed starting the documentary, and they started filming me and Weber, and they came to the West Coast to film our 2000 tour. Anyway, that went on for several years until the last session, in which Weber got hooked up with this girl, Judith, who has convinced her that I have stolen the Rounder millions, and she's kind of, rationally challenged. Okay.
I even know people like that.
Yeah, people like that. Anyway, what happened was that the grand finale of the filming was supposed to be our 40th anniversary, like May of 2003, reunion in Portland. And by this time, Judith had become Weber's manager. And as his manager, she said that attending the 40th anniversary Rounders reunion would be a quote of the year, bad career move. And anyway, Weber hasn't spoken to me since then. And Judith convinced him that the documentary that he was delighted in, working with the filming of for years and years and years, was actually a diabolical propaganda piece that I orchestrated and totally arranged with the purpose of making me look good and Weber look bad.
Oh my God!
Boy, have I done that myself? I've went through that whole same story. This is the 50th anniversary now of you guys getting together. Then,
yeah, actually,
let's have a party.
a party, right? Well, he won't talk to me. His wife, basically, his girlfriend took him to West Virginia, where they are, and she's basically cut him off from all of his friends by convincing them that that they don't have his best interests in heart. But the important thing is she's taking care of him. And Weber has a fractured leg, and his shoulder was hurt in the previous, before the leg accident, and has always really needed to be taken care of. He's always had a girlfriend that, took care of him. And
domineering, huh? He likes the domineering girls?
He wants a girl that pays for the rent and cooks and takes care of him, and it isn't so much a domineering as mommy plus sex is what he's looking for, basically.
Okay, Mr. Spaceman, who wrote that one?
Well, it's a altered version of Johnny Simmel's Mr. Bassman. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Spaceman, I want to be.
Hey, Mr. Bassman, you got that, Oh, Mr. Bassman, you're the hidden king of rock and roll, great line. And Weber made up the Spaceman version when he was speeding, and actually the recorded version is kind of like inhibited, like when he did it live, it was much more like his baps were like much more free.
Well, it seems like everybody else copied it. Even the Byrds have a version of Mr. Spaceman.
Well, no, they just took the title. I mean,
and then changed the words.
Well,
or put it on another song.
Well, you can reuse. You can't copyright a song title or a book title.
Yeah, I know. Somebody took How Can I Miss You When You Won't Go Away and wrote a whole new song on it. And it's up on the web, and you click on it, think you're going to get dead, and you get this Yahoo doing this stupid piece of shit. My goodness. Too bad you can't copyright. Pretty soon they'll be putting out, I Want to Hold Your Hand, it'll be something else.
It could be done. Actually, there's I have no problem with that stipulation. Personally, it's good to know some things are publicly usable.
Yeah, public domain. Yes. I was going to say we got about 3 minutes left in the show. Is there anything that you want to promote or plug?
Yeah, the new album by the Jeffrey Lewis and Peter Stampfel band just came out, and it's beyond fabulous. It's great. It's all alpha songs, all catchy songs. We started working on it in December, recorded it in April, and did a UK tour, 3-week tour with the band that recorded it, which just got back from last week. And between December, when we started working on the songs, and April, when we recorded it, these songs were going in my head nonstop to the exclusion of everything else. I've never had that happen while making a record. And I was delighted with these songs being in constant repetition because they're also gosh darn swell. And you can order the album by going to the Jeffrey Lewis website. That's the Jeffrey Lewis website. And order Hey Hey. It's the Jeffrey Lewis and Peter Stampfel Band album via the Jeffrey Lewis website, which I strongly recommend. Only $10. Besides, it's fabulous. It's a decent price plus shipping.
You should put a link to it up on your Facebook site so people can find it easier. If they don't remember, they can remember your name and just put it up at the top of your site.
I have several times.
Good. Do it again now.
Okay, I'll do it again now.
Yeah. That way I can take it and steal it, so that way I can put it up there.
It was great talking to you, Peter. I always wanted to meet you.
Well, I'd like to, hopefully I'll be out in California one of these years before I drop dead.
Well, I'm in Berkeley anytime I play every Wednesday night. You can stop by the Missouri Lounge.
Okay. Sounds great. Well, it's a date someday.
Okay.
All righty. And
happy 50th anniversary of your band.
Oh, thank you.
The Holy Modal Rounders. Modal.
Yeah, like
it's modes,
like a
yes,
mode is,
scale modes.
a mode is actually a scale.
Yes,
And,
yes, it's a type of scale, yes. Yes, I do know. Oh my goodness! Please check out the Holy Modal Rounders on the web when you possibly can. I'm going to be posting links on Facebook and I'm going to put them everywhere I can find. So people, please check them out. They are really, really cool. They got a great documentary, great stuff that we're plugged on the show. Girl George, you're fabulous as always. Oh, my goodness. And also, again, happy 50th anniversary to the band of the Holy Modal Rounders. Thank you so much. And it's been a blast.
You're welcome.
This is the Gypsy Poet. Yes, absolutely. Girl George, you are fabulous. Sending love all the way out to Berkeley. And I'm actually broadcasting all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Thank you so much. This is the Gypsy Poet saying adieu for now.
Ciao.
Little did you know you were here to clap.
Am a Chinatown whore. I love the trader in painted toes to fishing moles. I love all the men. Favorite ones are the sailors. Do them all for free. 'Cause there's something about a seafaring guy that brings out the animal in me. Fucking all the sailors in Chinatown. Fucking all the sailors in
Chinatown. Down in old Chinatown.
fucking all the sailors. Ain't it a beautiful world? Come on, you're supposed to be saying clap.
Fucking all the girls in
I once fell in love with a sailor, a real cute sailor boy. His eyes were blue, his hands were too. The two were my favorite toys. He was so young and so bully, kept me all to himself. No walk on the streets, no kicking up shit. Kept me in a jar on a shelf.
Fucking all the sailors in Chinatown. Fucking all the sailors in Chinatown. Down in old Chinatown. Fucking all the Oh.
Fucking all the sailors in Chinatown. Say, fucking all the sailors in
Chinatown. Down in old Chinatown.
fucking all the sailors. Ain't it a beautiful world? Now all the boats on old Chinatown. Ain't it a beautiful world? Fucking all the sailors in
Chinatown.
Chinatown.
Fucking all the sailors